Wow, that's really dramatic. This sounds like it was recorded with a better microphone now. Today we're going to take a look at a new alternative to the popular Oeksound Soothe2 plugin. It's called Smooth Operator by Baby Audio. But first, please like and subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and be sure to watch to the end of the video, where I'll tell you which one I recommend and give you a couple other cheap alternatives to Soothe2. First up is Soothe2. This is the plugin that really took the industry by storm and got us all talking about resonance suppression. So is it worth it? Let's check it out. The main section resembles a standard EQ, with some controls on the left that have some familiar and less familiar titles. The cool thing about Soothe2 is that it comes with a fully interactive tutorial for beginners. Very useful for getting to know this unusual plugin, probably the best walkthrough I've ever used. Let's look at some real-world examples. I'm hearing a sharp resonance in the mid-range, probably around 2 to 3K. This is the same issue I had in my last video where I used TDR Nova to fix a nasty resonance. Check that out in the link above. So I've inserted Soothe2 and it's already working at the default setting. These notches that appear can give you a clue where the problem areas are in your track. So I'll grab the mid note here and solo the band. You can do this by holding Alt. Oh yeah, there it is. So around here is where a nasty resonance lives. I'm going to pull this up. And this will increase the depth of Soothe2's resonance suppression. Basically, if you turn these nodes up, you'll get more compression at that frequency. If you turn it down, you'll get less. It's like an EQ, except it's controlling the dynamics too. Okay, I think I got the frequency. Let's bypass it. I can definitely hear a big difference there. When I bypass, I hear that whistling resonance come back in. Yeah, that's nice. It's subtle, but it's an important difference. Here you can use the delta to hear only what's being processed. So let's check this out in the mix. Gonna bypass. Yeah, I think that sounds way better. This will all sit much better in a mix, and those pesky resonant frequencies won't build up and mask other instruments or vocals. Now let's try Baby Audio's Smooth Operator on the same track. There are some similarities here in terms of functionality in that we have an EQ section that is the main work area, but Smooth Operator has fewer controls. Both plugins work from a similar foundation though, where the signal is broken up into spectral bands so they can be targeted more precisely. Let's see how Smooth Operator shapes up. So a big difference here is that the center node controls the horizontal line, which acts as a threshold. When I lower this, the more effect is applied. You can see it in the spectral bars up above. Again, like Soothe2, we can see there's already gain reduction just at the default setting. If I lower this a bit, it'll give me a clue where resonances are occurring. So I can see it's making dips in the low mids and in the mid-range, 1 to 2K. Smooth Operator has 4 nodes. 2 of these are bell EQ nodes, and you can adjust the width with your mouse wheel. The nodes on either end act more like shelf filters. And unlike Soothe2, moving a node up means less effect and moving it down means more effect, as you can see here. So let's try to fix that resonance. You can use solo down below to isolate a band when you hover over it. There's the resonance. I'm going to lower this. Okay, that already sounds better. Okay, let's bypass Smooth Operator. This sounds cleaner now. We can hear that harsh resonance improves when we enable Smooth Operator. I'm hearing at least one more resonance, and this is a moment where I wish I had another bell node to adjust. But Smooth Operator maxes out at 2. Let's compare this to Soothe 2. When I switch back to Soothe 2, the original character of the guitar seems to come through a bit more. Smooth Operator seemed to overly smooth it out, but I was being quite assertive with it. So I'd say overall, Soothe 2 preserves the natural sound a bit more, whereas Baby Audio kind of smooths it out, but they're both really good. I really love what I'm getting from Smooth Operator right now. This is very useful. This vocal has a scratch track that has a bad resonance around 2K, especially at the end of this chorus when the singer holds the word heat for a long time. Let's take a listen.
Did we get it right, leaving love behind? Do you miss the heat?
Right there. Okay, let's insert Soothe.
Do you miss the
Right away I can see Soothe 2 is already working in that area. This actually sounds pretty good at the default setting, but let's raise the mid-range gain and see what happens.
Do you miss the heat? Do you miss the high? Do you fight the rush rising up inside? Did we get...
This is definitely helping with the harshness of the vocal. Let's bypass.
Do you miss the high? Do you fight the rush rising up inside? Did we get it right, leaving love behind? Do you miss the heat?
Now with these plugins, resonances can be very subtle and hard to pick out, and like many correction actions, it's better to make small moves. You can adjust the intensity with the depth. I find raising this and lowering the sharpness gave me a more natural sound. All in all, it was quick and easy to get a great sound with Soothe 2. Now let's add Smooth Operator. So you can resize the GUI, which is great. Alright, so if I lower this a bit, right away we see some activity in the mid-range. I'm going to lower the threshold. And you see that dip at 2K. I'm going to adjust the focus here to try to make the cuts more surgical. Yeah, we can use this to take some mud out too, which is great.
Do you miss the high? Do you fight the rush rising up inside? Do
Wow, that's really dramatic, switching between the affected and dry signal. This sounds like it was recorded with a better microphone now, and there's a nice silkiness to the high end. Let's compare to Soothe 2.
Did we get it right, leaving love behind? Do you miss the heat?
Right, so Soothe 2 once again sounds a little more subtle, more true to the source. But I find myself missing that brighter tone from Smooth Operator. It was nice to get that tone really quickly from Smooth Operator. I'm impressed. Another cool feature I'll quickly mention is that both plugins support sidechain input. This is very helpful as you can take tracks that occupy similar frequencies and duck one channel with another's spectral footprint. So which plugin do I like better? Soothe 2 or Smooth Operator? Both and neither. It depends on your budget and needs. If you have $200 to spare, then Soothe 2 is the king of the heap. Not only do I find you can target and fix resonances quickly and easily, you have complete control over every parameter of the signal, but to me it really earns its reputation, and I would find it hard to live without this. Now that being said, Smooth Operator is something of a little miracle. As of this video, it's at an introductory price of just $39, a mere fraction of Soothe 2's price. And Smooth Operator is, by design, very easy to use. Bottom line, Smooth Operator is a no-brainer for beginners and pros alike looking for a quick solution for audio issues. Now, I did miss the advanced features of Soothe 2, and there were times where I almost had the sound where I wanted it, and I needed one more node or a little more control over the behavior. But for $39, you will get great results. I'll definitely be using this a lot in the future. So that's my conclusion. If you have the money and you want more professional level control, hold out for Soothe 2. Or grab Smooth Operator at this price, get familiar working with spectral dynamics, and grab Soothe 2 when it's on sale or when you feel like spending that kind of money. I'm going to cover these plugins in a future video, but here are some affordable spectral balancing options to look at. HoRNet's ThirtyOne MK2 plugin is a 31-band graphic equalizer that has an auto function, which will analyze the input and try to achieve the maximum harmonic balance. HoRNet is an innovative company with inexpensive plugins that routinely go on sale, so check this one out. Perennial indie developer Voxengo recently released the oddly titled TEOTE, which is an automatic spectral balancer. Voxengo makes some of the best plugins in the industry, but also some of the most confusing, and that applies here. You can get some great results out of the box, but they're more subtle and the controls are difficult for the layperson to understand, but well worth a visit. That's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and click that bell for notifications. It really helps to grow the channel. Until next time, mix well, pale blue daughters.